Paddy Cavan, obviously that's a very disappointing result, especially considering probably the bulk of the chances went Bohemians' way.
It's the same the last couple of weeks. Chances we're not taking them and getting punished every week, and it's not good enough.
Dundalk, obviously, like Shamrock Rovers last week, and the likes of St Pat's and stuff. They're some of the best technical players the league has to offer, and you really contain them a lot. Like, it was 2 wonder goals that won them the game.
To be fair, the second one's a great strike. Can't take anything away from that, but he's ran 30 or 40 yards and he's shown more desire to get into our box than what maybe we've lacked at times tonight and previous weeks. So get punished, and if we don't start taking our chances, we're going to find ourselves in an awful lot more trouble than where we are at the moment.
It's been a very tough start to this year for Bohemians, and now that we're midway through the second series of games, it's not looking as well as it had it had promised early season.
Yeah, in early season form we were decent, we were taking chances, we were at it, and at the moment we're just lacking a bit in the final third.
Finally, how important do you think it's going to be now that Dinny Corcoran's he's back from his suspension, and he scored during the week in the League Cup, and he's going to keep Jason on his toes as well,
keep Jason on his toes, keep himself on his toes. He's been out for 3 weeks now, so he needs to come back and get himself back sharp, match sharp, and hopefully he starts to find himself in the goals again.
Alright, thanks very much. Richie Towell, another goal, but you don't seem to have got the memory. You're allowed to score from inside the box as well.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, I break into the box a lot. I do, and I don't know how I missed the one in the second half coming to the end. I couldn't twist my body quick enough, so it was a bit unfortunate. But I was delighted to get the second goal, and I made it a bit more comfortable for the remaining few minutes.
Both contained you quite well, probably in a way that Sligo Rovers and Drogheda hadn't in previous weeks. And the bulk of the chances were probably their way.
Yeah, well, I think we hit the post. I think we had the more clear-cut chances, I don't think they really had many shots on target, But I thought first half we started bright, but we kind of dropped off, which isn't like us, which is disappointing. So the manager gave us a little boot up the backside at half time, and I think we came out second half and we are a much better team. I think we were comfortable in possession, and I think we were the only team that really tried to play football, I think they had a game plan to stop us from playing, and we had a game plan to get at them, and they were the home side, so you can see the different contrasts in play, but we're just delighted to get the 3 points.
12 goals in 3 games, it's a very good record, and none conceded yet.
The lads have been unbelievable at the back, Garto and Andy Boyle especially, they've been unbelievable they have this season. As you can see, we're not conceding many goals, and then we're scoring a lot of goals, which is great. All the lads is in great form, and we just can't wait for the next game now on Monday against UCD.
It's a testament to Stephen Kenny, really, that obviously a lot of people talk about how well Dundalk play football and stuff, but I'm almost more entertained watching the organisation you have getting back when the other team are on the ball.
Yeah, well, you need to be able to do the ugly side of the game as well. Obviously everybody wants to be getting on the ball and taking shots and making them killer passes, but you need to do the doggy work as well, and we have lads that can do that. I think everybody digs in and gives a hand out to the back four, which is great, and obviously Pete as well at the back has been a rock for us. He just looks assured in everything he does.
How important is it to have such a strong squad at Dundalk as well, where you're always on your toes with the quality of player you have on the bench behind you?
Yeah, you can see the lads that's on the bench. Look to Dave McMillan, I think he's their top scorer, and he's sitting on the bench, which is ridiculous. He's been working really hard, and he'll get his chances. We have such a big squad, and we have a lot of talent in the squad as well. I think you see John Mountney on the bench, Griff, Wardy isn't even in the squad, which is a really talented player. So we just need to keep doing what we're doing, and if we're doing that, we're in good spirits.
Finally, next week it's going to open up old wounds after the disappointment of what happened last year, especially in the circumstances. But it's another chance, it's another crack at the whip for you.
Yeah, exactly. UCD are a good side, I don't think they get enough recognition for what they do. They play a good brand of football, they do, and I think it'll be a very entertaining game. Two teams that try to play football, and hopefully we can put on a good show for the spectators.
Alright, thanks very much. Darragh Horgan, it's another goal for yourself and another 2-0 win. You don't seem to have got the memory. You're allowed to score inside the box as well,
Yeah, it seems to be an issue I have. But look, as long as they go in, I don't mind. But it was an absolutely tremendous team performance tonight. There, the back four were excellent, and Pete just looked so assured all night. It was very, very comfortable. Not in the end, I suppose, the way the back four played.
You mentioned, defensively. I mean, a lot of people talk about how well Dundalk play football, but it's almost equally, if not more, entertaining to watch the organisation when the other side are on the ball of like Dundalk, like getting men behind the ball, and it's fantastic defensively for me.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's very easy to attack like the way we attack when there's a great bedrock behind you, and you're not going to be leaking goals. I think that's 3 or 4 clean sheets in a row, which is very, very, very good for us. So we're going well now. But as I said, it was a great team performance, great work rate, because it's a very tough place to come.
12 goals in 3 games and none conceded. It's quite the record.
Yeah, well, it's only quite the record as long as we keep doing it. It doesn't matter. It's not really important doing it, mate. It's as long as you can keep going throughout the season, and that's going to be the key for us.
You've got FAI Cup next week. Obviously, you weren't at Dundalk last year when the tragedy of last season's FAI Cup semi-final. But it's gonna be a chance, another crack at the whip for Dundalk after being probably unfairly taken away from a cup final last year.
Yeah, definitely. And it'd be a very, very tough game against Sligo. They came up, and I suppose they weren't at their best that game, and we played very, very well. So they've got a point to prove against us up there now. So it's definitely going to be very tricky, and it'd be great if we get a good run in the cup.
And like for yourself personally, it's been quite a year at Dundalk so far. Like as in you seem to have continued your form from when you were at Cork, and probably and it looks like Dundalk are going to definitely be challenging for that title. Like I'd put them as favourites at the moment.
Jeez, I don't know if I'd put us as favourites. Yeah, we said there's still a long way to go, and there's 5 teams in it anyway, definitely. So I wouldn't be getting too hasty saying that yet. No, but we're going very well. It's easy to come up and play with very good players. There's a quality team out there, and I think I slot in quite well to that. And it's as I said, it's easy when you're just let go out, attack, and when you've got that bedrock of defence behind you.
Finally, you've got a tough run of games coming up now. You've got the FAI Cup games. You win that, you're going to have a few more. Europe coming up as well. It's really going to test the size of that squad.
Yeah, but it's a very good squad. The lads went up the Derry in the League Cup, and there was 11 changes made in the beat Derry at the Brandywell, that's unheard of. But it's an excellent squad. You could pick any player there and say, I can fit in, no bother at all. Yeah. We've got unbelievable quality. Even you see the lads that came off the bench tonight. Dave McMillan, I think he might be top scorer for us. He's flying it, and that's what you're what you're almost dealing with. He can't get into the team. We're playing that well, but he like everyone's flying it, and the work they're putting in, and like when you've got a good squad like that, it definitely keeps everyone on their toes and keeps players pushing on, and I think it'll definitely help us throughout the end of the season.
Alright, thanks Stephen Kenny. It's a very good result against Bohemians, and it's 12 goals and none conceded in the last 3 games.
Yeah, we've been on a great run. Yeah, since the Santa Cup we won 4 in the spin now. Yeah, and I think we've been very consistent, and the back 4 have been exceptional, and we look like we don't look like conceding goals at the moment, and we have a real cutting edge about the team, so we're happy with that.
A lot of talk obviously is of how well Dundalk play football, but it's almost more entertaining to watch the way they organise themselves when the other side are on the ball, because getting the men behind the ball is so important, and Dundalk do it so well.
Well, I think tonight we had to, because Bohemians, Anton Murphy has that long throw, which is a missile.
It causes problems.
It is a missile, and it got and it's difficult to defend, so you have to get numbers back to defend it, and anywhere within 30 yards to goal, that's a goal scoring chance for them. So to be fair to our centre backs tonight, they did terrifically well defending all of that, and we broke quickly, and we had 2 great individual goals from Darrell Horgan and Richie Towell, and created quite a few chances, so it was a good performance.
The likes Rory Higgins and Dave McMillan, who were on the bench tonight, it shows the squad strength, but coming into this summer now with European games, the FAI Cup next week, it's going to really show the strength of the squad.
Well, it is a test. We've not got the biggest squad. We've got with Stephen O'Donnell injured, we've got about 17 players and 2 keepers, and then Keith Ward, who was injured tonight, he got carried off in the Brandywell, so that put us down to sort of 16 and 2 keepers, so we had to require them out. We have some good under 19s who played in Brandywell for them. A few leaving cert students played in the Brandywell midweek, a few of them. Georgie Pointed, only in 5th year, he played.
My age.
He's only 16.
Yeah.
And Conor MacDonald doing his leaving cert, and Kieran O'Connor and Manny Kagwako, they all played, all young players in their 19s, and they acquit themselves very well, so they can supplement the first team squad.
Finally, next week obviously it's such a huge game against Sligo Rovers, and especially after the way that the FAI Cup ended last year for Dundalk, essentially robbed of the final. It's going to be it's going to look like an even more enticing encounter.
Yeah, I think that our first and foremost, we're looking at UCD Monday.
Yeah,
that's the game for us. We're just fully focused on UCD, because we know that St. Pat's, for example, dropped points against UCD recently, and you know that if you're less than focused, that you'll slip up. So we've got to be at that, really get them 5 wins on the spin since the final. That would be, I'd give us 6 league wins on the spin. If we could win on Monday, that'd be great. That'd be big motivation.
Alright, thanks very much. Dave Mulcahy, it's a tough result, but a lot of the chances went both ways, and if a few of those chances ended up in the net, like previous weeks, could have been a different result.
Exactly, it seems to be the same old story now for the last couple of weeks. Creating chances, which is the killer, which is unusual when you're being, I wouldn't say a bet, but not getting good results, because the results are what count. Like, that's why we're in the position that we are. But just talking to the manager there just before I came out, and we're talking about Jason Bourne, you'd never see him missing as many chances in my life. Like, I've played against him now for nearly 14 seasons. Like, but these things happen. All centre forwards, they go through these rough patches. But as soon as he starts turning it over again, I'm sure we'll be fine. But everyone else has to roll in and get the chances as well. And when the chances do come their way, that hopefully someone can start putting them away for us.
Talking about Jason Byrne, how important do you think Denny Corcoran coming back is going to be for him to keep him on his toes?
Absolutely. Well, not even that. Denny has started really well in the season. Obviously, unfortunately with the suspension again, Derry there. But Denny's been scoring the goals, really fit, and some great feet. Like, to be fair to him, and he brings a lot of players into play. Like, so he'll be a huge asset to us now, just to get another game or two under his belt.
What do you think has been the main problem for Bohs this year? Because you're creating all the chances, it's just not getting them in the back of the net really. But like defensively, it doesn't even look like the worst defensive performance in the whole week.
No, I don't think so. To be fair, like, I know if you look through maybe our last 5 or 6 games there, the goals that we can see, the majority of them have been mistakes on our part. So obviously they're individual mistakes that need to be caught out, and players need to address that themselves. But on the other side, we go back to chances. We had chances upon chance. We're up and Drogheda, and we had 7 clear-cut chances. Didn't take one of them, and they had 1 chance and scored. That's the difference, and unfortunately at this level, that's what counts. It's the teams that put the ball in the net, they get the 3 points.
It's tough considering the early season form. It showed a lot of promise, and it looked, but once again it looks like Bohs are probably not going to be up the higher reaches of that table. Yeah,
unfortunately, I had great expectations about the squad. Early doors, obviously when I signed back there, had a look at the squad, very impressed with what he had brought in. Loads of experience, loads of goal power, with Paddy Cavan, Jason Bourne, and to be fair to Beatty coming on, all lads that can get goals for you. But unfortunately at the minute it's just not happening for us. But in saying that, we go back to performances have been very good. We keep doing that, then, and we get the chances, things will turn. All you need to do is get a couple of results, a couple of 3-pointers, gets you back in the mix again, so there's no one running away from us either. So we'll hold tight, we'll regroup again now. A couple of big games for us now the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll get a couple of results.
How important do you think the FAI Cup is going to be? Because as I say, it looks like obviously a lot of people with the early season form are talking about Bohs being higher up in that table, but it looks like the only chance of a European spot for Bohs would be a cup win.
Yeah, well, the thing about the cup is, as I know from years being in a couple of cup finals, it's all about luck. You play one off all the time, you win them, you lose them, but you can't rely on cups, because you go and push your side to go and win a cup, you'll definitely won't. You'll be caught in the first round. So we'll go there with plenty of confidence, go and play as we normally do, and take it or leave it. That's the way I see it.
Alright, thanks. On here, the results not great. I mean, it's 2 wonder goals that won it for Dundalk, but once again it's a story just not taking the chances.
Yeah, well, in fairness, we gave them a lead in the first 7-8 minutes, which is, you don't want to give that against a team that's such as Dundalk. But it was a mountain, uphill battle after that. But Jay had a good chance then at the back stick, and again we don't take our chances. I thought we played well in the first half. After the 7-8 minute spell when they scored. After that, I think we done well in the whole of the first half. After that, come out in the second half, we have a game plan, then it goes out the window by a wonder strike from Richie. So again, it's we're not expected to beat the likes of Dundalk, but I thought Dundalk didn't play well tonight, and I thought we might have had a chance against them, and unfortunately we don't take our chances, but they took theirs well.
Denny Corcoran coming back is a huge boost, especially as in not just for his goals, but for the fact he'll keep Jason Byrne on his toes.
Yeah, Denny, in fairness to him, we probably would have started tonight, but he played 90 minutes the other day against Longwell, and it's hard when he hasn't played much games just to come back into it. So we thought we'd be able to use him and keep it tight, and then throw him on at the end where he'd be more effective. Unfortunately, we were chasing the game from early on, and then second goal goes in and kills the game for us.
FAI Cup next week. It's an important competition for Bohs this year.
Yeah, all games are important for us. We want to win them all, and it'll be a difficult game because Limerick have put two good back-to-back results together with beating Pats and now beating Drogheda tonight. So we know it'll be a tough ask, but hopefully we can go down there and get a result and get into the next round of the cup.
And midweek was obviously a great result for Bohemians. It's not it's been a while since Bohs have been saying they're 90 minutes away from a cup final.
Well, one step away from a cup final, and it's a decent cup to win. And hopefully we can get a good result in the day and get into the final. That'll be good for the club, be good for the fans as well to stick it into another cup final. But more importantly, we need to turn around the season and win league games.
Yeah, it's obviously getting a run like this, it's very tough where the chances just aren't going your way. But it's probably better to be getting it now than to be getting it later on in the season, especially because you had such a strong start to the year.
Yeah, it's not how you start, it's how you finish in this league. So it's important that we ride the storm now at the moment. But as long as we're creating chances, we know we'll turn it, and just a bit of confidence in front of the goal. I think we will turn it. Jay will pop up with a few goals. We've no doubt about that. Dinny will chip in, and then hopefully we can strengthen in the window and manage to turn things around.
Have you your eye on any players over the window?
Yeah, I've 1 or 2 lined up, and hopefully we can do deals with them and get them in. Again, the budget is it's a big restriction for us because I think we've the lowest budget in the league, so it's difficult enough trying to get players in to play for little and nothing, and then you look at our amateur players, we're hoping that they're not going to go, that other clubs won't poach them, so it is difficult. But we'll keep going at it, keep doing what we're doing off the field and try to get players in to strengthen the squad.
You mentioned the budget, how important, obviously you can't offer the big wages that other clubs can, but to be able to offer the name of a club like Bohemians, it must be something in comparison to like the likes of like UCD or Athlone or something. They're not nearly as big clubs as Bohemians.
No, they're not, but money does talk, and that's the thing. You're looking at players coming back from England, and if you're looking to get them in, you're saying the one thing that we can offer them is playing time. But Athlone can offer that, UCD can offer that, and if they can offer more money, well, then it's difficult to get the sign here. We're just hoping, as you say, Bohs is a big name, and it's more of a pulling point for them that they might think we're playing in front of a good crowd every week, and playing in the Rovers games is a big game for them, that they'd rather come here than go down to Athlone and play in front of small crowds, or UCD and play in front of small crowds. So hopefully we can convince players to come.
Location as well is probably a factor,
massive. But UCD is in Dublin, and
that's true.
Athlone is not far. It's only an hour down the road. So you're right in saying that it's a good club, it's a big club, and it's central to most things. So we have to try to convince them, and that's what we're working on the last couple of weeks, is trying to convince players to come and show them that this is the club that I think that will benefit them more than anything else.
All right, thanks very much.